What's up, everybody? This is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, bringing you another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. Today I'm going to be teaching you about stacks, what they are, the different kinds of stacks that there is, and how you can implement them in different ways in your recording studio sessions. So without further ado, let's get it! So what are stacks? Stacks is basically a double of your main vocal that you record. So another word for stacks is a dub, or which is short for double, okay? And the theory behind doing stacks is this. You record your main vocal in the studio, all is well, perfect, you love it, okay? Now the reason that you may want to do a stack is it will give it a bigger and more fuller sound when done properly. And what's very important to remember is this, that you want to get as close as possible to your original recording, okay? You want your time and your cadence to be the same so it lines up in time. If not, it's gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound very immature, and that's not what we want, okay? So when it comes to stacks, you have different kinds of stacks. The most common is what I like to refer to as a static stack. It's basically a copy of the main vocal. So when you go to record that second track, which is a stack, you're trying to get as close as possible to the original recording. The same emotion, the same vibe, the same time, the same cadence, everything. So it's almost like you're doing a copy of the main vocal. And that's the most common used. And when mixed properly, this should be somewhat subtle. You don't really notice it when you listen to it, but if you take it away, it's like, whoa, what happened? The vocal suddenly sounds so much thinner and smaller and more quiet. Now, another type of stack that there is something I like to refer to as the diverse stack, okay? And what a diverse stack is instead of doing what you do on the static stack and trying to be as close to the way that you sounded on the main vocal, on a diverse stack, you're actually trying to sound different while keeping the same time and cadence so it lines up in time. And the reason that you would do this is because if you want to create a different layer of emotion or vibe, it will cause it to step out a lot easier from the main vocal, okay? And this is similar to what singers do when they create harmony parts. They'll record that one main vocal and then they'll record another one, but it's in a different harmony, which means it's in a different pitch or a different tone, okay? Which causes it to create these very easily distinguished layers, okay? And that's what a diverse stack will allow you to do when done properly. Now the thing to remember is this, stacks is not necessary on every track. This is just a technique when it comes to recording your vocals in the studio. So it always comes back on you, the person who's making the music, to determine, does your song even need a stack? Because if it's a really emotional, mellow, intimate track, it may not need to have a huge sound. You know, it may need to have that kind of isolated or more solo sound to it. But if you're doing like a crunk track, something that's a lot more up-tempo, upbeat, then stacks may help you out a lot. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. But the main thing to remember is this, is you need to stay in time with the main vocal. You want to make sure your cadence is lining up, okay? You need to be saying words on top of the same words on your stacks that you are on your main vocal. The main vocal is the lead star. It is the main artist. Your stacks are background vocals. So think of them like this. They're kind of like backup singers are on stage. Okay, their job is to support the main artist, and that's the same role as stacks. Their job is to simply support that main vocal. So everything you do on your stacks should be done in a way that's complementing that main vocal and not doing anything that's distracting or taking away from it. So next time you're in the studio, have fun with it. You know, do you some static stacks, play around if you want to with the diverse stacks. And what I'm going to do for you guys is this. I'm about to show you me recording stacks. I'm going to do my main vocals first, and then I'll go in behind it and I'll do a static stack, and then I'll do a couple of diverse stacks just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, okay? I'm actually going to be using a beat from my beat store from ColeMizeStudios.com for this demonstration, and the beat was made by Beats Planet, and it's called Presidential Encore. It's like a Jay-Z type track. It's really epic. So without further ado, let's get into it and I'll be right back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record my main vocal, and then I'm gonna come back behind that and show you a couple examples of how to record your stacks. Let's go. I consider myself a leader, but still I'm only man. No follow me, but if you must do it until you can. Establish an adequate, passionate plan that's heaven sent. Think outside the box, get deep as the ocean sediment. Seek wisdom, forget about entertainment. Liberate yourself from being shackled to the pavement. Stagnation is trash, face it. Exceed with speed and deplete what hinders or render patience. Now on this one, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm calling the static stack. I'm going to pretty much copy the first one and just do the same thing it did. Let's go. I consider myself a leader, but still I'm only man. No follow me, but if you must do it until you can. Establish an adequate, passionate plan that's heaven sent. Think outside the box, get deep as the ocean sediment. Seek wisdom, forget about entertainment. Liberate yourself from being shackled to the pavement. Stagnation is trash, face it. Exceed with speed and deplete what hinders or render patience. Okay, on this one, I'm going to give you an example of a diverse stack. So I'm going to go lower on this one. I'm going to sound like this. Try to give it a little bit more bottom end, alright? I consider myself a leader, but still I'm only man. Don't follow me, but if you must do it until you can. Establish an adequate, passionate plan that's heaven sent. Think outside the box, get deep as the ocean sediment. Seek wisdom, forget about entertainment. Liberate yourself from being shackled to the pavement. Stagnation is trash, face it. Exceed with speed and deplete what hinders or render patience. And on this example, I'm gonna give you one more representation of a diverse stack. I'm gonna go higher in level. So I'm gonna sound like this on this one. Alright, let's go. I consider myself a leader, but still I'm only man. No follow me, but if you must do it until you can. Establish an adequate, passionate plan that's heaven sent. Think outside the box, get deep as the ocean sediment. Seek wisdom, forget about entertainment. Liberate yourself from being shackled to the pavement. Stagnation is trash, face it. Exceed with speed and deplete what hinders or render patience. So there you go, that's stacks. I hope that information was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, drop your 2 cents in the comments section below. And if this is your first time here, I would like to invite you to download a free copy of my ebook, The #1 Fundamental to Rapping, where I'm sharing with you tips and techniques that I've gathered over the 17 years that I've been rapping. It will also sign you up to my newsletter because I'm doing a lot more than just making videos. I'm blogging 3 times a week on my website, and I have a lot of helpful information out there, from things about the recording industry, do's and don'ts of things that you can be doing to get your music heard when you're making music submissions, words of encouragement. There's a lot going on there. So instead of you having to find what I'm doing, I'll bring it to you once a week in the email, and I respond to all my emails. I love hearing from you guys. So let's stay connected. This is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com. Y'all take it easy. We'll holler at you. Peace.